So what's it like to live with a 200-pound liability? Well, this is him, and I absolutely love him. But let's be real, owning a dog with powerful guardian instincts is a huge daily challenge that most people just aren't ready for. I see the glamour shots on Instagram, those videos of majestic giants looking all noble and calm, and I know what you're thinking. But there's a whole other side to this life you don't see on social media. The side that's all about constant vigilance, specialized training, and completely changing your lifestyle. Today, I'm sharing the unfiltered truth about what it really takes to live with a magnificent but difficult breed, the Central Asian Shepherd. First things first, I adore my dog. He's the most loyal, smart, and loving companion his family could ever ask for. But this isn't just about how much I love him. It's about respect. Respect for what this breed was perfected to do over thousands of years. To be a fearless, independent guardian that could defend livestock from wolves and bears. That instinct doesn't just switch off because he lives in a suburban house instead of on the steppes of Central Asia. I'm not trying to scare you, I'm trying to be honest. The whole point is to keep these incredible dogs out of the wrong hands and to prevent owners from getting in over their heads. Because when you get a dog like this without knowing the reality, it's not fair to you, and it's definitely not fair to the dog. So, let's get into the 5 truths nobody tells you about living with a giant guardian dog. The first thing you have to wrap your head around isn't just that he's big, it's that he is a true giant. My boy is a massive 200 pounds, which is at the absolute peak for his breed, but these dogs are always giants. This isn't a large dog, this is a force of nature. When he leans on you, you move. When his tail wags, anything on the coffee table is in mortal danger. We're talking about a dog that's the size of a grown man, but with 4-wheel drive and a much lower center of gravity. And with that size comes a kind of power that's hard to understand until you feel it. A standard leash feels like a piece of string. A simple pull from him isn't a tug. It's an event that can dislocate your shoulder if you're not ready for it. I'm not exaggerating. This reality changes everything. Your choice of gear isn't about style, it's about industrial strength survival. You can't just be a dog person. You have to be physically capable of being an anchor for a small boulder that has suddenly decided to chase a squirrel. With this kind of raw power, there's just zero room for error. You can't have an off day on a walk. You can't get distracted by your phone. The physical liability is huge, because 1 second of inattention with a dog this strong can have serious consequences. It's a level of strength that commands your respect and your full attention. Always. You hear people say their dog is protective. That word doesn't even begin to cover it with a Central Asian Shepherd. These dogs aren't just watchdogs who bark when someone's at the door. They are bred to be active defenders who independently assess and act on what they see as a threat. His instincts aren't a fun personality quirk. They're the result of centuries of survival in harsh environments where being fearless was the only way to stay alive. In a normal home, this translates to some pretty intense behaviors. He is deeply suspicious of strangers. To him, the mail carrier isn't a friendly visitor. He's an intruder on the territory. When a guest comes over, they aren't welcomed with a wagging tail. They are scrutinized. My dog isn't being rude. He's doing the job that's hardwired into his DNA. He's deciding if this new person is a threat to his family. This makes having company a stressful, highly managed event that requires slow, careful introductions every single time. This guardian nature goes beyond just people. Unfamiliar dogs, a loud car, even a plastic bag blowing down the street can be flagged as something that needs to be controlled. He patrols our yard not like it's a game, but like it's his solemn duty. Living with this means you have to learn to see the world through his eyes, to anticipate triggers, and to constantly manage his environment to keep his guardian instincts from tipping into aggression. It's not for the faint of heart, and it's exactly why these dogs don't belong in apartments or homes without large, securely fenced yards. When most people think of dog training, they picture puppy classes and learning sit and stay. With a Central Asian Shepherd, you can just throw that picture right out the window. Training this breed is a lifelong negotiation. They are incredibly intelligent, independent thinkers, which is both a blessing and a curse. Their intelligence means they don't just obey you blindly. They'll listen to your request, and then weigh it against their own assessment of the situation. This is why trying to dominate a dog like this is not only useless, but it will also backfire spectacularly. Your relationship has to be built on mutual respect and clear, confident leadership. You're not his master, you're his trusted partner. The most critical part of all of this is early and intensive socialization. And I don't just mean puppy play dates, I mean exposing him to every sight, sound, and situation you can possibly think of, starting from the moment he comes home. If you miss that crucial window between 8 and 12 weeks, you risk raising a dog who is overly suspicious and potentially reactive, simply because he never learned to tell the difference between a real threat and a kid on a skateboard. And even with all that work, many will never be the kind of dog that happily greets strangers at a cafe. They might learn to tolerate them, but their default setting is always suspicion. Training is never done. It's a permanent part of your daily life. It's a constant process of reinforcing boundaries, managing situations, and speaking up for your dog in a world that just doesn't get him. You are always training for his entire life. Let me put this plainly. If you live in an apartment, you cannot own this dog. If you have a small, unfenced yard, you cannot own this dog. Full stop. These dogs need space. A large, securely fenced property isn't a luxury, it's a non-negotiable requirement. And that fence isn't just to keep him in, it's to protect the outside world, his territorial instincts. He uses that space differently than other dogs too. He patrols. He finds high ground to survey his territory. He digs, not out of boredom, but to create cool spots to rest in while he keeps watch. Your beautiful lawn? It's going to become a landscape of strategic divots and well-worn patrol paths. Inside, the chaos continues. As I said, one happy tail wag can clear a coffee table. A playful nudge can knock you right off your feet. You just can't have delicate things at dog level. Every piece of furniture is a potential chew toy if he gets an idea in his head. Their size means that normal dog behaviors are magnified into major destructive events. You don't just own a dog, you're the caretaker of a giant furry wrecking ball who happens to live in your house. You have to adapt your home for him, not the other way around. It means accepting a certain level of beautiful chaos and understanding that your house is, first and foremost, his to manage. This is the part no one ever really talks about, but it's the most draining part of owning a dog like this. The mental load. You are always on. You never really relax in public. Every walk is a strategic mission where you're constantly scanning for potential triggers. Off-leash dogs, kids running up, someone who looks like they might approach too quickly. You become an expert in reading his smallest cues, a slight stiffening of his body, the flicker of his ears, because you know you have only a few seconds to redirect him before his instincts kick in. You have to be his advocate, constantly telling well-meaning strangers why they can't just run up and pet your dog. You'll hear yourself saying, "Sorry, he's not friendly," not because he's a bad dog, but because you're protecting both him and the stranger from a situation that could go wrong. And honestly, it's exhausting. It's a heavy weight of responsibility. You are the sole manager of an animal with the power and instinct to do serious harm if you get it wrong. This is the true meaning of him being a liability. The love is deeper than you can imagine, and the loyalty is unbreakable. But the mental energy it takes to give him a safe, happy life is immense. It's a commitment of your mental and emotional resources, every single day. So yeah, living with a giant guardian is a complete paradox. It is, without a doubt, the most rewarding and the most stressful experience I've ever had with an animal. He is a massive liability, a constant source of worry. And yet, the bond we have is something I wouldn't trade for anything. With us, his family, he's a gentle, goofy, loving giant. That's the side of him we get to see, because we've dedicated our lives to meeting his needs. The reason I'm sharing all this is to help people make a truly informed decision. These dogs are incredible, and they deserve owners who will respect their history and commit to the demanding life they require. Getting one just because they look cool, without understanding the reality, is a recipe for heartbreak for everyone. If I missed anything, or if you have your own stories about a giant guardian breed, drop a comment below. I read all of them. And if this video was helpful and you appreciate this kind of honest chat about dog ownership, please give it a like and subscribe. It helps more than you know. Owning a Central Asian Shepherd isn't about having a pet. It's about earning the trust of a living, breathing piece of history. And if you can do that, it's worth every single challenge.